you shouldn't do your training if you're getting ready for Ottawa Race Weekend. Am I right, Phil March?
Yeah, if you're going to run a race weekend, probably a good time to get started.
Yeah. With the running room, I know you have these programs that a lot of people use to get ready, especially first-timers, right?
Yeah.
That way, their training schedule is all set, really mapped out for them.
Yeah.
They know how far to run, when to run, what to wear when they're running.
Yeah, we do it. We do everything from learn to run right up to marathons. So our marathon clinics and half marathon clinics started about 16 weeks ago, and they're gearing right for the race weekend. We're a partner for the race weekend, so we do our clinics gearing for that.
Right.
We actually on Sunday did our annual Canada to Bank Street run. So we had about 300 marathoners run from Canada. We bust them out and then send them back home, back to run in. So it was a pretty neat thing, and you know we've done 32K now. So
matter of fact, I guess we're getting right down to it. Hey, this would be one of the last big runs, long runs.
That was it. That was the last long run for the marathoners. They don't do another run
till the marathon.
No, they'll do 26 this weekend, and then 16, and then the race. So one of the big things that people have to remember at this point now, a couple of weeks out from the race weekend, is that you're not going to get any faster. You can tire yourself out a little bit more, but you need to taper, you need to peak. It's just like the hockey players, you know, they're trying to rest a little bit, they'll take off the weights a bit. Yeah. But really to focus, especially as you get older, not our age, but a little older, to focus on rest and nutrition are the two big keys. And that was pretty cool that the
Your
GPS
watch just went off.
The Timex GPS just got a signal indoors, which is pretty amazing.
Oh, it tells you that.
It tells me that I'm not moving, but that like if I decided to start running right now, it's got a signal going.
This is something that comes in handy for runners, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty neat idea. You know, Timex. Yep, Timex came out with the Ironman sports watch, you know, over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But one of the really cool things about it is it does everything. You can use it for a heart rate monitor, but it'll tell you how fast you're going, how far you're going, how fast, you know, your average pace, your altitude even. And then when you get done, you can log it into your computer and you can actually map your run. You can kind of log it on and see the exact route you went on. So it's pretty handy. It's an all-in-one gadget. So for people that are really have to have the gadgets, it's great. One of the best.
Is it important to write that stuff down and to know that information, or some people do it?
I think especially for people doing their first of anything, it shows them where they were. You know, it's like you know, it's like you know, golfers. You know, you start out, you forget where you were. You know, so if you're doing learn to run, and then 2 years from now we're sitting there and saying, hey, I'm doing a marathon, you sometimes forget, hey, you know what? I had trouble doing 8 times, you know, around the block 2 years ago, and now I'm going for a marathon. So I think looking at where you came from makes it easier to see where you're going.
I know you got your snappy Nike shoes on. Those are nice. They're beautiful.
Nike free.
Yeah, those are nice and light, right? What about that? Should people, you know, break out new footwear for a race like that? It's always a good question because they think, oh, it's my first 10K, it's my first marathon. I want to look good. Yeah,
we would love you to change your shoes every month. It'd be great for us, but you'd feel like $1 million. And you know. But Leanne was saying earlier she's getting her race shoes today. So, you know, if you're going to get your race shoes, get them a couple of 2-3 weeks out before so you get a couple of runs in them. Yeah. And really on race day and a couple of days before race day, just don't do anything new. Don't try any new clothing. Don't do any, you know, no new sports bra or no new socks. Wear what you've been doing for training. If you've been taking a certain kind of gel or sports drink, don't change that on race day. Do the same thing. Yeah.
Whatever it was that made you comfortable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Be it shoes, clothing, or otherwise, make sure you do those same things. Don't change them up, because the next thing you know, especially for ladies, like you mentioned, sports bra, you put a new one on, you're bound to run into trouble. Yeah, and training is all rehearsal, and that's why you do those long runs, to get your body used to it, but to find out not only what works, but what doesn't work. Yeah. And sometimes some things, you know, some people with the gels, for example, some people have gels without caffeine for the first 30K, and they'll have gels with caffeine for the last 12K. And so if they start taking stuff that's free, they mess up their blood sugar or their system. Yeah. You know, or take an energy drink, and it's just not quite right when they've been training with water. So, you know, whatever you've been doing now, you should have a pretty good idea what's going on. If somebody says now, oh, you should start taking gels and you haven't been, probably, theoretically you should have. But if you haven't been doing it, don't do anything now that's new before race weekend. I want to wish everybody, especially the first timers, the best of luck. And we'll see them all out there. You're going to be around all weekend. Yeah. I'll be there on the 10K night on Saturday evenings. So that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll be doing the announcing, I think. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Phil March from the Running Room. If you have any questions, make sure you get in touch with someone at the Running Room. They can help you out with any problems you might be experiencing as you get closer to race day. Thanks, buddy. Good. At least you know you're indoors now. I do. That's important.